Okay, hi everybody. It's me Lola, tuning in from Lola's Beauty Essentials, and if you're on YouTube channel, it's Lola's Beauty Reviews, and if you're on my social media, it's Lola's Beauty Essentials. Great to be with you. I come out every week to provide you with a piece of value within the health or beauty segment. This week it's going to be beauty and skin in a way, and it's going to talk about sunscreen smarts. Okay, so here's some things about sunscreen, like is it important and why is it important? So sunscreen is obviously providing you with sun protection because the UVA and UVB rays of the sun is quite harsh on one's skin, and it actually amounts to getting conditions such as skin cancer, which is obviously nothing that people want. And it even acts up your pigmentation further. So the sun, though it has good properties of vitamin D, it's actually really not good if it's a long exposure. But that being said, vitamin D is essential for your body. So having a bit of sunlight every day is actually very good for your skin. And it helps your mood and everything. And you really won't burn in the sun if it's not too hot, like as long as it's under 30 degrees, I believe. As long as you're in the sun under 30 degrees for under 15 minutes, your skin will be totally fine. So it's the moment you're longer than 15 minutes in direct sun exposure that it becomes a problem where you really need sunscreen. So do you need a sunscreen every single day? My answer is it depends. It depends on how long you're going to be in the sun. It depends on the degrees of the sun, and it depends on the sunscreen that you're using. So if you're in an office environment, those lights are quite it's quite bad for your skin, and really it's not good. So the UV light, for protection of that, I would advise that you go in with a sunscreen. But it doesn't have to be anything hectic. It can be SPF 15 to 20 is enough for such an exposure. If you aren't in an office environment and hardly see the sun, no, you don't need it. You don't need it at all. So if you're going to be longer than 15 minutes in the sun in general, if you're just, working remotely, then by all means put on the sunscreen after the 15 minutes and then reapply every 45 minutes. But you're still only going to need like an SPF 20. If it's more than 30 degrees outside and you're in the beach days and that, please get you an SPF 25 to 30. It's actually very much enough. You do not need a 50. It's actually really not good for you. So you can get the SPF 30 for beach days and reapply every 45 minutes. Also, which sunscreen you're using, because if you are going to be using chemical-based sunscreens, then you might as well wear no sunscreen. Because what it does is the chemical reacts to the sunlight, which actually causes more damage, making you even more prone to having skin cancer just by having that on, and it acts on your pigmentation like a crazy thing. So in that case, stay away. Make sure that it's a natural sunscreen, and then you're good to go. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is the fact that they said wearing sunscreen every day is an anti-aging agent, and it's not. Very much false. The only time sunscreen can do anything for you is to block sun damage. So your normal moisturizer or serum that you're applying is good enough. Your normal foundation that has the SPF in there is good enough. If your moisturizer, your day cream has an SPF in it, even if only a 15, it's good enough, and you don't need it in any case most of the time. So you don't have to wear sunscreen every day. It's really dependent on the situation. Make sure that it's a natural sunscreen, and that you don't need an SPF 50 ever. And for babies, please guys, you really don't need it on your baby. After 6 months, you can try and be like, okay, depends beach days. But other than that, try and keep the exposure away from sunscreen as far as possible. It has no anti-aging ingredients in there that's going to help you, that your serum or moisturizer can't do on its own. So don't fall for every marketing facade out there. Please, people, be aware and learn something new. See you next week. Let me know if you got some value.